Alright, section 5, couplers. TM 55-285, War Department Technical Manual, Operation Railroad Instruction Maintenance, Rolling Stock, and I believe we're on page 35. Almost. Alright, we're on section 4, couplers. Coupler heights, rule number 24. Cars will be maintained with limited standard height with a coupler measured for the top of the rail, center face of the coupler or knuckler, center face of the coupler or knuckle. As far as proper adjustments will be made when the cars are empty, the following regulations stand and gauge track. An empty car coupler heights measuring 32.5 inches left may be adjusted to 34.5 inches or as near as practical thereto, not exceeding 34.5 inches. Unloaded cars coupler height measuring 31.5 inches less may be adjusted to the 33.5 inches or near practical thereto to be exceeding the 33.5 inches. When adjusting coupler height, if the coupler first is played for the proper alignment of the draft gear as indicated in figure 25, 26, 27, and 28, a shim of the 1/4 inch thickness of more may be required and applied with the purpose of this shim is less than a 1/4 inch thickness. The required or realignment is necessary. After the coupler is played for the proper alignment, shim and coupler carrier height is not at 1/2 inch except for the minimum dimensions specified by A above. Further adjustment will be made in the truck spring, center bolsters, and journal boxes. Do not use liners between male and female portion of the center plate with a vertical bearing. Surface reduce, however, the wear of the side of the bearing clearance, and they cannot be adjusted otherwise. Use one of the two pieces of the metal shim with exceeding 1/8 inch thickness between the bearing surface of the upper and lower center plate of the permissible provided vertical bearing surface of the center plate and is not reduced below 1/8 of an inch. Do not use the cut washers between male and female portion of the center plate. When the coupler is prescribed herein, limitations found with a drooping 1 inch or more with the key alignment, 3/4 inch of the more be riveted attached will be corrected with the provided with in A above. When the coupler draft gear is removed, the plate for the renewed repair then coupler height is that within prescribed limit. The coupler draft gears will be aligned with the properly with A above. 35 gauge limited method of gauging couplers. 1. Limited repairs without removing the coupler from the car. 1. Couplers type D and E. The distance between the point of the knuckle and the guard arm exceeding 5/16 with an inch measured at the gauge. Figure 29 will have the defective parts renewed to bring the coupler where required. Gauge of 5/1/8 division measured for the gauge. Figure 31. If the coupler is out of gauge, the body will not be renewed unless the application of second hand reconditioned with the new parts, knuckle, lock pin, and any or all will not bring it with the required gauge of 5/1/8 of an inch. And then we'll go back and look at the pictures. Alright, it shows A 1/4 inch line 1, 3/8 of an inch line 2, 1/2, 3 inches line 3, 5/8 of an inch line 4, 3/4 inch line 5. These dimensions may be developed when shim is welded, and it shows 2 inches from each of them to the suit, and then it gives you A and line. A shim proper thickness and width of the length may be used without shaping when welding and riveting facilities are available. Figure 25 shows the style of the coupler proper thickness and weld of the length may be used without any shaping, welding, and riveting facilities are available. Shim for proper thickness, width, and length may be applied with the welding with between or riveting facilities are not available. And 3/4 inches on the end to the suit and inside, and then to the suit on the outside would be 3/16 of an inch plus the inner suit. And then A would be line 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, following in these order: 1/4, 3/8, 1/2, 5/8, and 3/4 inch. Alright, and then it shows shims required. The thickness, the width, of the length may be applied with the welding riveting facility are not available. And it shows the suit, and then it shows R and 1 inch. A is also in line 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in the following order: 1/4, 3/8, 1/2, 5/8, 3/4 inch minimum, 1 inch minimum. Alright, to the suit, and it shows these center holes at 7/8 of an inch from each corner of the plate, and then the suit, and then the dotted line A would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in the following order: 1/4 inch, 3/8 of an inch, 1/2 inch, 5/8 of an inch, 3/4 inch, 1 is the minimum. Shows the apply of the scrap knuckle 1/2, then it shows the A line, and then shows the apply 7/8 scrap nut, 7/8 thick filler next to the plate to the suit. 3/4 inch CSK head bolts and 2.5 inch long Note, the style shim can be applied without removing the coupler carrier if 3/4 inch common nut is applied, same to be secured with a lock, washer, nut locks, and riveting over the end of the bolts. Or all will not bring with the required gauge of 5 1/8 inch couplers other than type D and E with a distance made between the knuckle and the guard arms exceeding 5 1/8 inch measured perpendicular to the guard arm. See figure 31. Will have a defective part with the parts renewed with the bring the coupler when required gauge is 5 1/8 inch. B. Application of the second hand with the reconditioning with a coupler body with the type of the D and the E. Second hand with the recondition whether they're applied separately with the part with the complete with the second hand with the coupler regardless of any of the new with the recondition any other second hand parts. Knuckle lock and pin any or all. Distance from the point of the knuckle to the guard arm will not exceed 5 inches measured by the gauge. See figure 30 with the same limit will govern a new with the coupler body with applied with any of the reused reconditioned second hand part. 2. In the application second-hand reconditioned coupler body of this complete coupler, the shank will not be less than 21 inches length from the shank striking horn to the cleft of the horn surface of the butt, no less than 3 7/8 of an inch from the pulling surface of the rear of the horizontal key slide for the crest of the horn surface of the butt established with the parallel straight edges. Figure 33. Coupler bodies having the minimum dimension will not be removed from the cars of the defects alone. 36. Coupler bodies. Rule number 26. The coupler bodies will crack knuckle side wall with the back of the knuckle tail with the removed and left. The such crack extends beyond the shaded area indicated in 32 with the 4 inches above, 4 inches below with the horizontal center line knuckle side wall. 10 inch back from the edge of the knuckle side wall. The cracks will be measured with the surface of the coupler when the crack extends beyond the shaded area of the coupler body is condemned. Section is broken out and in excess of 3 inches within prescribed area of the coupler body is cracked with a limit specified above the welded from whenever the cracked. Coupler bodies having the cracks within shaded areas will not be removed from the car for this defect alone. Do not burn out key slots in any type of the coupler body. And it shows the 1/8 inch steel plated hardened and essential dimension encircled 22 hundredths of an inch or plus or minus tolerance, and shows the 5/16 of an inch hole, 4 3/16 inch radius with a 1/4 inch diameter, and then 1/2 inch and 1/16 of an inch, 1/2 inch rounded 2 3/16 of an inch. Inside 1/15, 16 inch of an inch. And this shows the use of the gauge of the coupler contour with a condemned when gauge can be passed vertically through the contour and position shown with the points A and B and contracting guard arm C. Our 1/8 steel plate hardened and show the same guard the other way, and then show the B and A and 5 inches of an inch. So the coupler contour is condemned when the gauge can be passed vertically through the contour in position shown with the points A and B contracting guard arm. Alright, show the worn and distorted contact, the original contour at 5 1/8 of an inch. Use the gauge of coupling described in 34A. Or condemning a limit for crack extending the of distortion with a 10 inch and 4 inches in the center to 4 inches in the center. 21.5 inches A and 3 7/8 and B. No, determine the distance from the key slot with the butt with the dimension A and B. They divided in 2. Section 6. Journal boxes and bearings.